Okay, gang, it's a beautiful day in Georgia, and I am happy, so happy to be out in the shop. The last couple of weeks, my time has been taken up with family stuff, which was good things. We all got to take care of our families. And also, I was on jury duty last week, which obviously takes up all of your time. So I'm so happy to be out here and working on Mystique again. For those of you that have followed along, you know that I've done all the sheet metal work to this car, which included the quarter panel, outer wheelhouse, tail panel, truck pan, 2 floor pans, and a few other things that need to be fixed up and patched. So my previous video, I was prepping the car for primer, and hopefully today I can get it to that stage and get it actually in epoxy. So I've been going over the car, a little detail work here and there, cleaning up things and follow-ups on just little issues that need to be addressed. And I still have some scuffing to do. This is just a preliminary. I went over this panel with the DA, but I'm going to go over with Scotch-Brite as well. And I am going to epoxy the inside of the floor pans, the rear seat area where I did some repair work, and of course everything on the outside, A-pillar, rocker panels, door jambs, and cowl, roof. You know what you're looking at. So I'm going to be using Shopline PPG epoxy primer gray JP375. I like it. It works well. And primarily I'm just trying to get this car sealed up with this epoxy. And then I will start doing my Bondo work and smoothing out any little flaws or defects. And also at that point I will apply seam sealer to the areas that obviously need it, where the quarter panels overlap each other with the tail panel and stuff like that. In these areas down here, up here in the corners, and then of course the floor pans will get some as well. So I'm going to keep working on it and try to get it ready for some epoxy primer. Okay, so I've made some progress. I went over the whole car and I checked for any kind of any areas that I had forgotten to weld, or any debris hanging on in different places, and went over the whole thing. Pretty happy with the results. I also wiped down the whole car twice, and by wiping down, what I mean is I sprayed some, basically what's JX101, which is a wax and grease remover, and I just have it in this spray bottle. Wiped the whole car down and then dried it off with an air hose using dry air. And that's another thing. I'm pretty happy and excited to be able to use the old filter system that we had at the body shop. I went and bought new cartridges and tested everything out, and it's working great. So that's going to be a big plus. And of course this will be the first thing I've sprayed in my remodeled paint booth, so that'll be a plus too. And I'm looking forward to having this car in one color. And from there I can start doing filler work on any of the minor stuff, and also put seam sealer on the seams. And to me, the most important part, as it should be, the most important part of any paint job is getting everything ready beforehand. And you can have the best painter in the world, but if the body work is not right, it doesn't matter how good he is. And I wouldn't call myself the best painter in the world, and I'm a decent body man, but that's just my opinion. So stay tuned and let me see if I can get some epoxy on this thing. Okay, there she is. Everything's covered in epoxy primer, and I can tell that I haven't sprayed anything in a while because epoxy primer spray is a little bit thinner, and I laid it on a little bit too heavy. Got a few runs here and there, but it's not that big a deal because I'm going to go over all this with high build primer anyway. But I'm really happy to see it all in one color. It just makes me feel better about the progress. And now I can drive on with doing all the seam sealing and start doing filler work that needs to be done in a few places. But at least now I have something that I can look at and be able to identify those areas a lot easier. So I'm pretty happy with it. I did spray all of the inside the floor pan area. Of course I showed you the trunk area as well. And now I can just drive on, like I said. think that's all I'm going to put on this video. I just need to show some progress for me and for the followers. And stay tuned, there'll be more to come. Thanks for watching.